Shout out to LTTV. Shout out to LTTV.
With Fox coming off the Dominion lawsuit, they're currently on edge. And they seen the writing on the wall with Shannon Sharpe. You see, Shannon Sharpe is also in the middle of a defamation case based on what he did on the Fox airwaves. You see, Shannon Sharpe took the Undisputed to call out Brett Favre. And Brett Favre said that these words that Shannon Sharpe spewed was defamation.
You got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low. Skip,
Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1. Do I have an idea of what happened? I'm Stephen A. You damn right I do.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. We don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been bought out, but everything right now is speculation. Y'all heard in the intro, that was Poetic Flacco from No Jumper giving his reasoning. He has a couple of good videos and some decent theories on why Shannon Sharpe is leaving. But right now, it's all speculation. We don't know. Stephen A. Smith was probably the best bet to get some insider news, but let's listen to what Stephen A. Smith has to say. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get it.
Do I have an idea of what happened? I'm Stephen A. You damn right I do. Do I know for certain? No, I do not. If I knew for certain, would I tell you? Hell no, without their permission. Because Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe could be at FS1, at least for the moment in the case of Shannon Sharpe. I've gotten to know Shannon Sharpe a little bit over the last few years. I genuinely like him and respect him. He is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the National Football League. And I personally think he's done a hell of a job on television and with his podcast club, Shay Shay, which, by the way, I'm going to be a guest on in the near future. And he's also going to be a guest on here in the near future. But I sincerely hope, regardless of what opinions I'm about to give, that y'all don't make the mistake of assuming that I'm going to speak against my man Skip Bayless. That is not going to happen. Skip Bayless and I have disagreed on many things, on the air and off the air. We're natural born contrarians with one another. We don't think alike. We don't act alike. We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Perfect timing. What up, Christy? What up, TG? What up, Moxie? What up, Prom L? Let's get it.
Like the same things.
Nah, I just put the we don't care because he was we don't, so we don't care as well, but
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
let's get back into this. Let's keep this serious though. There's Stephen A's speculating on what's going on and also paying his respect to Shannon Sharpe. That's what we're seeing here. Plus we get a breakdown of two theories from Poetic Flacco shortly after. So let's listen to what Stephen A has to say in support of Shannon Sharpe before we get into that. What up, FSC?
On the air and off the air. We're natural.
Club Shay Shay does a lot better numbers than Skip Bayless podcast. Skip Bayless podcast numbers are not doing nearly as well as Shannon Sharpe's podcast, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. But let's get back into this.
Born contrarians with one another. We don't think alike. We don't act alike. We don't like the same things. We don't vibe with each other in terms of our ideas and our belief system.
Stephen A has the funniest speech pattern because he puts R's in places that have no idea or no business having them R's in there. But let's get into this.
But you remember when I told you that I was the star of the #1 sports morning show for the last 11 and a half years? The first 4 years of that was with Skip Bayless. I'm never in that position if it were not for Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless asked me to come on First Take. Skip Bayless permitted me to come on First Take. Skip Bayless fought for me to come on First Take. Skip Bayless played a role in restoring my career that I felt had wrongly been taken from me. I will never disrespect him. It will not happen. Never. But that doesn't mean I can't disagree with him. This is not one of those times because I don't know what happened to tell you why I agree or disagree. Here's what I can tell you. When news was announced that Shannon Sharpe had been bought out of FS1 and he would be leaving at the conclusion of the NBA Finals, there were two things that came to my mind. That's a big loss for the show Undisputed because Shannon matters, and that I don't know what his plans are. I don't know what he's trying to pursue. I don't know what he's after. But if Shannon Sharpe needs me, I'm happy to be here for him. And if that included him wanting to come on First Take, the bosses at ESPN know that is something I would support. Not every day, but one of those days every week, yeah. And why do I say not every day? Because you need to understand something. I apologize for this to no one. I love me some Michael Irvin. That's my brother, the playmaker. And I understand he got himself embroiled in some situation, and I have no clue what's going to happen with that. That is above my pay grade. Whatever they discover, they discover. Remember, I get to hand pick who's on First Take once they're in-house for ESPN. I don't get to bring them from the outside in without the bosses okay. We have to be honest. I'm not the boss. That's Dave Roberts. That's Jimmy Pitaro. That's Burt Magnus. That's those dudes. I answer to them. It's not the other way around when it comes to all matters pertaining to ESPN. But they know where I stand. I love me some Michael Irvin. I always want my brother with me. He ain't the only one. Keyshawn Johnson, that's my brother. We go back over 20 years, and I think he's excellent on TV discussing football. Ryan Clark, the pivot, Ryan Clark. The NFL analyst extraordinaire, Ryan Clark. Marcus Spears, a.k.a. Swagoo, my brothers. My brothers. And they ain't the only ones. Dominique Foxworth, Damian Woody, Bart Scott, and all these. But I got an A-list roster. I ain't even bring up Dan Orlovsky, who is great. I didn't even bring up Mina Kimes. I didn't even bring up Jeff Saturday, who I hope returned. I missed Jeff Saturday on first day. I don't give a damn what happened with him in Indianapolis when he became a head coach. Took the job.
Shout out to Sir Chai 87 with the $2 super chat. I prefer Max Kellerman and Shannon team up show. Max Kellerman and Shannon had a show together. I remember Max Kellerman on First Take with Stephen A. I think Max Kellerman gives such safe opinions and safe takes all the time. I think it's better with JJ Redick and Stephen A. JJ Redick, Mad Dog and Stephen A. Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. would be a good show. But he kind of cycles them out as he's naming all these other guys because it's not a consistent show where it's every day it's Stephen A versus Max the way it used to be. Or even Stephen A and Skip. I like it the way it is currently with guest hosts rotating every other day. I think it's best that way. But let's get back into this.
The damn middle of the season, that's a different matter than being First Take. Being on First Take, hell.
Oh, you say you would prefer Max Kellerman and Shannon would be a better show. Yeah. I don't know, man. Max Kellerman's boring. Max Kellerman has very safe takes. He belongs in that morning show with Keyshawn Johnson and Jay Will. Not on First Take. Maybe him and Shannon will work out. I don't know how their chemistry will work on camera, but let's get back into this.
No. But I'm just telling you right now, to be clear, if Shannon Sharpe wanted to join that roster, there's no resistance from Stephen A. I got love for Shannon Sharpe. I respect the hell out of him. And there's no doubt the man knows his football. But I ain't looking for anybody every day. Because I got a whole host of contributors that I don't ever want to let go of. Having said all of that, was I surprised at all that Shannon Sharpe ended up departing from Undisputed on FS1? Absolutely not. Not at all. And this right here is the reason why.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me. You could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No, I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
I'd be a damn liar if I told you that when I saw that transpire on national television, that I didn't believe in my heart that this day wasn't coming. I don't know what went on. I don't know what happened. I have not spoken to Skip Bayless. I have not talked to Shannon Sharpe about this. But I am telling you, I know Skip Bayless. And when that moment happened, I said, this is over. This is over. Because when something like that happens in a public platform, there's certain things that you just don't recover from relationship-wise. That was just my belief, based on my experience, no knowledge of the situation, because it ain't none of my business. And that's what happened. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. Skip is always going to be a winner in television in my book. And I'm quite sure even the names that have been thrown out there, LaShawn McCoy, Scottie Pippen, Antonio Brown, and Brandon Marshall, Victor Cruz, whatever they do, they do.
I'm sorry.
Who? LaShawn McCoy, Scottie Pippen.
What?
Skip Bayless and Scottie Pippen every morning on Undisputed.
Antonio Brown and
Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown every day in the morning with Skip Bayless.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
That's not a serious consideration. Come on, man.
Brandon Marshall, Victor Cruz, whatever they do, they do. They do what they do, I do what I do. But with people clamoring for me to comment about it, I just wanted to make the point that I'm never going to disrespect Skip Bayless. It's not going to happen. I don't know what happened, and if he doesn't want to tell me, he doesn't have to tell me. We haven't spoken in a while. And Shannon's business is Shannon's business. You saw him in the news. House just got robbed. Somebody robbed like damn near $1 million of his jewelry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're going to have to discuss that on... Well, yeah, I'm going to cover that article as well. I didn't cover that. I don't know why I didn't cover that. I'm going to cover that story as well.
He was thankful they didn't kill his dogs, according to the reports. That was publicized. Obviously, this happened, brought out by FS1. I can't imagine that it was something that he'd want to happen, having that daily platform available to him. The reports are already out that Skip Bayless and Skip Bayless alone would say yay or nay to who Shannon Sharpe's successor is. But Shannon is not somebody that's going to be out of this business. Club Shay Shay ain't going anywhere. And his talents, which have elevated as a commentator and pundit over the years, that's not going anywhere either. He'll be somewhere. Hell, in at least some kind of capacity. For all I know, it might be First Take when all is said and done. I have no idea. I have bosses to answer to. But I wouldn't resist it if they asked him to show up for at least one day a week. Again, I'm not looking for anybody 5 days a week. I like my roster of contributors. I like the diverse voices and all of that other stuff. It's the way it should be, in my opinion. At least for now. But I like Shannon Sharpe. And I'll help him any way he asks me to.
A lot of Shannon Sharpe speaking after the couple of months of turmoil on Undisputed and the back and forth that we've seen that Stephen A. referred to, that incident. This was him speaking about those incidents that were happening on Undisputed. So it's not, to me, it seems like it's more than just that. It's deeper than that. It could possibly be that. With Stephen A. referring to that with his insight and him knowing both of the two, you got to give it some credence. But we're about to get into Flacco's theory in a moment. This is only about 30 seconds more.
The relationship better now.
We're great.
I said this clip was about 30 seconds longer.
It's a total fabrication.
Yeah, it was a little longer than I thought, but we're about to get into Flacco's video. So now that's insane because he is a Hall of Fame tight end. A Hall of Famer.
People ask me, like, how do you
Pretty good. I know.
People, get in here. Folks, bro, I told y'all, right, bro?
All right, so this is Flacco's theory. Flacco's bringing up the lawsuit that he has pending from Brett Favre. See, everyone wondered why Kyrie Irving was getting destroyed for sharing a link, and Brett Favre was let off the hook in the media. Everyone's like, yo, why aren't they going on Brett Favre? Because Brett Favre is straight up suing motherfuckers. If you spoke about him on network television, on these sports shows, he's suing you, and he's suing Fox Sports 1 or ESPN, whichever network you are on, speaking about him, which is insane. He doesn't want to be held accountable to the point of lawsuits, getting people in trouble. I'm not sure if this is the reason why he's leaving, but this is why Flacco is speculating.
I told y'all Shannon Sharpe was out of there, man, but I was wrong about the reason why. Now, I thought that Shannon Sharpe would have for sure quit, Undisputed, after the disrespect from Skip Bayless over the last couple of months. Eventually, I thought the brother would have woken up and seen his individual podcast was doing 20 times better than Skip Bayless' individual podcast, and he'll realize that he's the draw to the show, and he's now the A card. But that's not why Shannon Sharpe is leaving. Shannon Sharpe didn't quit. No, Fox Sports bought out Shannon Sharpe's contract. Before I get into my reasoning and me speculating, here are the facts. Shannon Sharpe and Fox have reached a buyout agreement. Fox will be buying out Shannon Sharpe's contract. He'll be going home. Now, Shannon Sharpe will be leaving the show after the NBA Finals coverage in June. So he's still on the show for a couple more weeks. After the NBA Finals, that'll be Shannon Sharpe's last show on Undisputed. According to Shannon Sharpe team, this is from an NY Post report. According to the New York Post, people from Shannon Sharpe team have been privately expressing that Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless have been at odds for the last 3 months because Shannon Sharpe has been asking for a more prominent role on the show. Because apparently Skip Bayless is the one who comes in, he picked the topics, he approves it, and it's all on him. Like, Shannon Sharpe can give input, but Skip Bayless is the ultimate decider. And it's been working that way. And Skip Bayless has been reluctant to give that up since him being the ultimate decider on the show topics have been working out great because the show ratings, are through the roof. Shannon Sharpe once more say Skip Bayless is reluctant to give up any power. They're saying that's the reason why. I think that's a huge load of horse. You know what, bro? That's cap. Here's my reason why. And I believe that my reasoning is probably more probable. Here's the thing.
All right, so right before we get into that theory, I forgot to play this when I got that $2 super chat. This is the super chat sound, so I forgot. Let's get back into it.
Shannon Sharpe didn't quit. He got bought out. They're giving him, the rest of his contract. They're giving him the rest of the money on his contract to go home. So meaning that Fox Sports is saying Shannon Sharpe not being a part of this company is probably much better than the alternative. So what's the alternative here? Now, the alternative here is a Tucker Carlson situation. Tucker Carlson was recently fired from Fox News. Now, Fox News and Fox Sports, needless to say, is under the same organization under Fox Corporation. So Tucker Carlson was damn near fired and let go, despite being the biggest voice on the network, because Tucker Carlson, for the most part, cost Fox News $787 million. You see, Dominion sued Fox News for spreading misinformation about election fraud, and they won. The lawsuit was based around Fox host.
Wait, did he say they won?
You see, Dominion sued Fox News for spreading misinformation about election fraud, and they won.
Jesus Christ.
The lawsuit was based around Fox News host, coming on air and essentially saying, the Dominion voting system is flawed, right? It promotes voter fraud, et cetera, et cetera. And Dominion said, nah, bro, that's cap, bro. You just can't come on air, and defame us every day for this election cycle. Not happening. Run us our money. And Fox ran up to $787 million. With Fox coming off the Dominion lawsuit, they're currently on edge. And they seen the writing on the wall with Shannon Sharpe. You see, Shannon Sharpe is also in the middle of a defamation case based on what he did on the Fox airwaves. You see, Shannon Sharpe took the Undisputed to call out Brett Favre. And Brett Favre said that these words that Shannon Sharpe spewed was defamation.
You got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low. Skip, Mississippi is the poorest state in our country.
It is.
Its citizens. So if they're the poorest state, Brett Favre is taken from the underserved. You made $100+ million in the NFL. And they're talking about what he didn't know. This is what Brett Favre texted. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much?
That sounds guilty as fuck. What the fuck? Hold on. Why would he say
In the NFL. And they're talking about what he didn't know. This is what Brett Favre texted. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? So if you gotta ask this question.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
Is there any way the media can find out? Nothing Brett Favre can do. But he's been a sleazeball. He's been shady for a very, very long time.
Now, I don't know if any of this is confirmed. This theory. This is a good theory because he went on air and said this and never spoke about it again. We have not seen any of these sports network daytime debate shows speak about that, bring it up again. And we all thought that they were just shoving it under the rug while holding Kyrie Irving accountable. And we looked at them real funny in the light. But seeing that he is suing everybody that's saying this, it's like, even it says alleged as well. It didn't even say that he did this for sure. It's allegedly. We don't know.
The thing with this Brett Favre situation, we have a
Brett Favre can do, but he's been a sleazeball. He's been shady for a very, very long time.
Okay, that statement right there.
Question. Is there any way the media can find out? Nothing Brett Favre can do. But he's been a sleazeball. He's been shady for a very, very long time.
The thing with this Brett Favre situation, we have a feeling. We probably think that Brett Favre stole some money, got some money under the table, took it from the mouths of welfare recipients. We feel. But here's the thing, though. There's not enough evidence to say that for sure. Brett Favre text messages were sus. But if there was enough evidence for what Shannon Sharpe is accusing Brett Favre of, Brett Favre wouldn't be a free man. He'll be locked up in cuffs and thrown away. But here's the thing, though.
We don't know that for sure. That's cap right there. If he did it, he doesn't mean he will be locked up for it. There's many people that have done many crimes that have gotten away with it. And then there's all sorts of collusion and then all sorts of privilege with certain folks. So we're not saying that for certain. Y'all give me a second real quickly. All right, let's get into this.
You know, like Brett Favre looks super sketchy, but none has been proven. All right, so to come on air and say this man should be in jail and this man has stolen from the mouths of welfare recipients, that's harsh. All right, and you got to be able to back it up. And
now, this is the thing. He's saying that's harsh and you got to be able to back it up. They were all reporting on this. This was a story that everybody was covering. I've seen many outlets. I think I ran this story as well. I covered it. I'm pretty sure I covered it. Many outlets were covering it. So it's just reporting the news that everybody's spouting out. I don't think he was any different. He may have took it to levels that other people didn't when he said he's been a sleazebag. So that may have been the line that Brett Favre thought was too far. But let's get back into this.
Brett Favre clearly feels as if Shannon Sharpe is defaming him. So Brett Favre has filed a lawsuit that's been credible enough to where, you know, it's been pushed through. Now, Shannon Sharpe sought to dismiss the lawsuit. That dismissal was rejected. I was going to court, but Shannon Sharpe exercised his right for it not to go to Mississippi court. He wanted to go to federal court. Now, Brett Favre has been holding his Go Ono card, or Shannon Sharpe has been playing chess. You see, Brett Favre initially didn't list Fox News as one of the defendants that he's suing. I believe Brett Favre was holding out over Shannon Sharpe's head over Fox News head, right? And actively trying to negotiate something with Fox News. And I believe that Fox News is now seeing the writing on the wall and seeing where this case is going and thinking, yo, Brett Favre got that boy, bro. All right? And if we don't want to be listed on this lawsuit, if we don't want to be held culpable and accountable for this, y'all, we got to let Shannon Sharpe go. We got to let that boy go. Once somebody is fed up, they fed up, man. All right? Shannon Sharpe finally revealed the real reason why he left Undisputed with Skip Bayless. He hasn't made an official statement yet, but he's on Twitter liking some real peculiar tweets that sort of gives us an insight into exactly how this relationship ended. One of the tweets he liked was a tweet from Matthew Dowd where it says, FS1 keeping a real Skip Bayless and losing Jenny Taft and Shannon Sharpe is like a music promoter keeping Weird Al Jankovic but getting rid of Lady Gaga and James Brown. I don't think Jenny Taft is no Lady Gaga, but I do think Shannon Sharpe could be James Brown, right? But Skip Bayless is probably a bigger star than Jenny Taft, which is a no-duh, right? But here's the most damning tweet.
Shit getting out of hand now.
Now he's liking these tweets. Everybody knows that your likes are public. He covers many sports stars' tweets and mistakes that they apparently make, burner accounts that get exposed. He speaks about this on air all the time. He's very aware of what he's doing by liking these tweets. So Flacco pointing this out is very insightful to give us some insight to what's going on with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Clearly, there's some turmoil going on there.
That Shannon Sharpe liked. Shannon Sharpe liked a tweet from Dylan Patrick H that says, their relationship got progressively worse over the last 2, maybe 3 years because Skip fought for him to be on that show, but I feel like Skip couldn't stand for Shannon succeeding without him, and that's when Skip was taking pot shots on air. Call me weird, but I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's the only reason why, bruh. Right? Because y'all ain't get along, because y'all was making jokes. I done seen people in Hollywood fake relationships with worse. I done seen people in Hollywood.
Now, Flacco was saying all of this, but what we heard from Stephen A. earlier, he said that was the line that he said it may have been a problem from that point on, knowing Skip Bayless. He said that when he seen that, he was not surprised that this was the outcome. Y'all heard Stephen A. in the beginning. I'm going to play that clip right after this one more time before I wrap the show up.
Really hated each other. Put that aside. Fake their relationship on air to keep that show running. I don't think, bro, that Shannon Sharpe is leaving abruptly because him and Skip relationship got progressively worse. Even if that was the case, it would have been a situation like Jenny Taft, where Jenny Taft and Skip Bayless got into it because Skip Bayless was on air trying to fat shame that boy Mike McCarthy. Jenny Taft wasn't having it, right? I guess she was a big girl at one point too. She wasn't having it. Got up in his eye.
Yeah, I reacted to that on the channel. That had like 100,000 views. That did big numbers for that little reaction.
And she left Undisputed. But she left and she was transitioned to other things. She was doing other things. Shannon Sharpe is one of the biggest stars on the network. One of the biggest stars on Fox. So Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless just wasn't getting along. If they just didn't like each other. Shannon Sharpe would just, have been moved to something else. He would have, got another deal doing something.
Now, when Jenny Taft went at Skip Bayless live on air, Skip Bayless got rid of her expeditiously. She never returned after that. He said,
if you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Packed her bags, and she was gone. This has been ongoing turmoil for a while. And from everything that I've heard so far, from all the videos we reacted to, I still have zero idea what happened, and I can't call it from this.
Else with somebody else.
Like, we're seeing all the turmoil. We're seeing the Brett Favre allegations, but nothing is stamped and solidified. It's all speculation. So the real reason, still up in the air to me.
On Fox, it wouldn't be Shannon Sharpe is leaving the Fox Corporation completely and entirely. That's where I'm confused. Because you don't get rid of stars. You don't let Shannon Sharpe out of his contract. You don't buy him out to go home if it's this. Because I feel like this can be rectified pretty fast.
We don't know, but according to Stephen A.
NFL analyst extraordinaire Ron on First Take, that is something I would support.
Wait.
On First Take. Skip Bayless played a role in restoring my career.
Yeah, I don't got the clip. Let me pinpoint this real quick, y'all.
I'd be a damn liar if I told you that when I saw that transpire on national television, that I didn't believe in my heart that this day wasn't coming.
And the clip we were referring to was this clip we reacted to earlier. So at this point, I don't know. I cannot call it, but these are the stories out there. And, you know, we're going to be here to cover it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We have a lot more on the way. We have part 2 of the last show we did. We're actually going to react to the shit that Fresh and Fit said in the long form. We're actually going to try to get through that. Because I didn't give their side a complete fair shake. We're going to react to that as well. So we got a lot of videos we're reacting to. A lot of videos coming up. Some collabs coming up. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's about to get wild out here. We out. Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't realize Christy said she was gonna call in. Maybe next time, Christy. We out though. You cammed up with